Good evening and welcome to Gladiators TV. My name is Gareth Bemister, your commentator this evening and your host for this championship clash this evening, the Plymouth Gladiators at home to the Birmingham Brummies. If you are joining us for the first time here on the Gladiators TV, welcome to Tuesday nights at the Coliseum. We've got a really good meeting in store for us this evening. The Gladiators, they have started their championship campaign. They've had a match up here against Scunthorpe Scorpions and they won it 49-41. The Brummies, they haven't started their league campaign yet, but they've had a torrid time of it in the BSN series, losing all of their matches, including the ones at home. So the Brummies really do want to get their season up and running this evening at the Coliseum. That does add a little bit of added pressure for this evening. They've brought in Paco CASTAGNA at guest. Paco has ridden well here before, the Italian. He's a popular rider. We're looking forward to seeing him. And of course, Nick Morris up at the top for the Brummies as well, another rider that is more than capable of banging in some points this evening. The Gladiators, they'll want to carry on with this form that saw them win here against the Scunthorpe Scorpions. Of course, last week against the Pirates, things didn't go to plan, but that wasn't in the league. That was in a different competition. They'll want to carry on this league form. They got no Kyle Howarth this evening. He's injured himself. He wasn't riding for his other club yesterday either. So they are slightly down on numbers. We've also got no Jake Turner. He injured himself last Friday as well. More on that when we look at the riders when they're announced later. For now, I think we're going to go over to the pits where Nigel is speaking to some of the runners and riders and we can get some of their thoughts before we start this important championship clash.
Well, Richie, back to championship action tonight after the Pool Knockout Cup match last week, but you've already beaten Scunthorpe here. I'm sure you'll be hoping to repeat that this evening. Yeah, definitely. Last week was tough. It was a tough match against Pool. You know, they're a tough team, and I think they will be for anybody. And we started off pretty well, didn't we, last week? Friday against them, and then it seemed to just dwindle away in the end. I think Stevie made a bit of a turn for them. You know, he came good in the end, and it was a tough one to swallow, really, because you know I did want to get through, but it was a tough gig, to be honest, going up against them. You know, that's really, you'd hope to meet them there in the final, not early on like we did. But never mind. Yeah, on to tonight now, and I think we're strong enough to get one over Birmingham. Obviously missing Kyle and Jake tonight. How are you going to cope with those two? It's not going to be easy. You know, Kyle, he does week in, week out go out there and get that first win at least, and he's good for, apart from last week, he's been good for double figures every match. So hopefully we can, between us, that goes out and replaces him, can do something similar. I think Lee down at reserve and the track looking like it's a little bit grippy. Hopefully will suit him and then in turn suit us. So who knows? You know, I'm not too familiar with these boys around here. You know, it's not really been my home track, this place, so I don't quite know how everybody goes around here. So you know, like to Stefan NIELSEN, you know, I'm not sure how well he goes around here or any of them boys. So it's still a bit of a grey one for me. You know, I don't know, but we're going into it very open-minded. But I'd like to think, as a team, you know, the vibe does feel good today. I feel good. There's a lot of communication, a lot of laughter going on. So I think it's set for a good night anyway, and a good fun night. They obviously haven't won yet this season, so they're going to be itching to put that right tonight, aren't they? Well, yeah, of course they will. I definitely, you know, Birmingham last year, yeah, you know, I'd be pretty standing here saying, I mean, confidently saying we're going to win. But this is Birmingham this year. You know, they obviously spent some money. Nick's track record around this place isn't too great, to be honest. But I don't know if he goes good and goes bad. But I remember last year when I was here with Leicester, he was terrible. So hopefully he does the same again. But you never know with Nick. Yeah, they're going to want to win. They're definitely going to want to win. Little sideshow going on at the moment with you and Ben with track records. He obviously got it last week. Is you itching to get it back off him? Well, we've got the transponders on now, so it's always going to be true times from now on, I think. You know, Ben was always laughing about mine, saying mine was a little bit too quick. But hey, get the stopwatch on Ben's. That's definitely too quick. I think about 2 seconds. So we'll leave that there. Just a bit of fun, you know. Well, brilliant. I wish you all the very best of this evening. Yeah, well, thank you. Well, Laurence, welcome back to Plymouth, a place you're very familiar with. Lovely evening. Hope you're looking forward to a good meeting this evening. Very much. The sun shines. It was good, you know, and it's nice to see a lot of my old friends here on the track staff. Obviously, Difficult start to the season, but you must take encouragement from the last outing where you ran red car pretty close on their own track.
We ran them very close, you know. We could have won. That's the amazing thing there. But it's showing the good signs there. We've made the change at reserve as well, which I think will benefit us.
Yeah, Joe Thompson down here a couple of weeks ago looked really good. I think got 6 points, so he's a handy man to have signed up for this track.
Very much so, yeah. Well, Joe and Dan have been with me since they started at Coventry on the 125s, and you know, when Scunthorpe dropped him, it was, you know, very tempting. I feel sorry for Ty because, you know, he's been ill. He hasn't had much luck there, but we had to make the move, and he understood it and shook me by the hand afterwards and said, "If you need me any time, I'll always ride for you," which is lovely.
Paco CASTAGNA in for James Wright. Is James close to returning?
Tomorrow.
All right. So.
Yes, it's a start back for him tomorrow. So his season begins in 24 hours.
Paco, a good character to have in your side, though?
Very much so. He's our rider anyway. I was on loan to Edinburgh. Always gives me 110%. You know, he's had 2 guest bookings so far with a 10 and an 8, so that'll do nicely tonight.
You got some former Plymouth riders in your side. Alfie BOWTELL, of course, here last year, which I would imagine you hope is going to help you this evening. Yeah,
very much. Alfie has been a revelation, really. You know, we had a couple of rough first heats on the first couple of meetings, but last week he got 11 paid 13 and it was absolutely flying. He and Nick Morris have got a great understanding, so that's what I'm looking for tonight.
Obviously at this time of year difficult to get moisture into the track. Have you had a look at it so far?
A little look, but I know what Mark's like, so I know what he'll do.
I wish you all the best for this evening.
Thanks, man.
So here are the team lineups for this evening. Rider replacement will be in place for number 1 at Plymouth Gladiators. Number 2 will be Dan Gilkes. Paul Starke at number 3. Ben Barker will be the captain at number 4. Richie WORRALL at number 5. Guesting this evening will be Lee Complin at 6 and Ben Trigger at number 7. Team manager, of course, is Garry May. And the visitors, the Brummies this evening, we've got Nick Morris at number 1. We've got Alfie BOWTELL at number 2. Paco CASTAGNA comes in as a guest at number 3. Stefan NIELSEN at number 4. Justin Sedgmen at 5. Joe Thompson at 6 and James Pearson at 7. Team manager for the Brummies, Laurence ROGERS. Now let's head down to the pits and see what's up trackside.
Just about to have the coins toss here. This will be interesting.
So Plymouth won the toss, will take 1 and 3. 1 and 3.
So Ben Barker, the skipper tonight, and Plymouth won the toss and they're taking gates 1 and 3.
Yeah, gates 1 and 3, which looks like A to me, is that right?
I think that's right. It's interesting because Ben Barker wanted to take gates 1 and 3 last week, but Carl Howarth, they had a long discussion after Plymouth won the toss and they ended up taking gates 2 and 4. But with Ben being skipper, he's got his way tonight.
Absolutely. So here are the Brummies being announced here. Sedgmen there, number 5. We got the reserves there, James Pearson and Joe Thompson, who we've already talked about. Justin Sedgmen, a very quick Australian. Stefan NIELSEN, a great rider, of course, sort of Anglo-Danish, I suppose. The Italian, Paco CASTAGNA, comes in as a guest. Alfie BOWTELL, of course, who had plenty of good rides here last season. And if he makes the start, he's incredibly difficult to overtake. And Nick Morris at the top for the Brummies. So, yeah, there they are. And I'll pass over to Nigel, who will take us through the Gladiators lineup. Yeah,
looks strong on paper, Birmingham, despite their sticky start to the season. At number 7, Ben Trigger had an improved meeting last week, some good gating. Lee Complin is the guest tonight. He guested for Scunthorpe a couple of weeks ago. Probably didn't have the best of evenings, but it's a little bit more grip on the track tonight for him tonight. Richie WORRALL, and it's obviously number 5. Skipper for the evening, Ben Barker. Obviously Carl Howarth missing with that injury tonight. Number 3, Paul Starke, who didn't have the best of evenings on Friday, but he'll be hoping to pick up some more points. Dan Gilkes at 2. He's been excellent at home the last couple of weeks. And it's rider replacement, of course, at number 1 with every other Gladiator able to take one of his rides.
So heat number 1 is getting itself lined up as we speak. Dan Gilkes off the inside there in gate 1. He's for the Gladiators here. Gate 2 is Alfie BOWTELL in yellow off of gate 2 for the Brummies. Gate 3 will be Ben Barker here in red and Nick Morris off the outside in white. And yeah, tasty looking lineup here. Alfie BOWTELL, of course, formerly of this parish and expected to go well here.
Yeah, if he gates well, as you said earlier, he's a hard man to overtake around this track. Nick Morris obviously a top line #1 for the Brummies. It rides for Wolverhampton in the Premier League, so this should be a very interesting and entertaining Heat 1.
So start marshal calling him into line. Tapes up, away they go. It's pretty even as they get to the first turn. Nick Morris has come across the front of all three of them. Ben Barker out the back, Wheelie's out the back, but Nick Morris has taken control of this race very early on. He's got Dan Gilkes breathing down his exhaust pipe though.
Yeah, Ben Barker went out in some of the deep stuff there and was hanging on desperately to his bike, finds himself at the back. It's Morris leading the way. Gilkes is well, trying his best to catch him up, but Morris looking very impressive out the front. BOWTELL coming under pressure from Barker. Again, Barker goes wide on that first and second bend, and he's now retired. Whether he's got an issue with his bike, I'm not sure, but he's dropping out at the back.
Well, he went into that dirt, Ben Barker. It was off of our screen, off camera, but he went into the dirt and there was a ton of grip out there, and I think it did catch him out a little bit. It's a comfortable win there for Nick Morris in heat #1. It's white, blue, yellow, and it's a 4-2 to the Brummies to get us started here at the Coliseum.
Ben Barker is actually completing the race, just coasting over the finish line, but he'll be disappointed with that, but a good start for the Brummies here.
Here we go then, heat #2. And we have got off the inside here in gate 1 for the Brummies. We've got Joe Thompson in white, we've got Lee Complin in gate 2 in red, James Pearson will come off of gate 3 here in yellow, and Ben Trigger off the outside in gate 4 in blue.
Well, Ben Complin will be heading for that dirt, which Ben Barker made contact with. Complin loves a bit of dirt out wide, and it should be tailor-made for him, the track this evening, if he can get out there.
So here we go then, heat #2, sponsored by John Parsons, and we have got all 4 riders ready to go here. Tapes up, away they go. Once again it's even, but from the inside, in white, Joe Thompson. He's made a good start and he's followed by James Pearson in that second. That's a perfect start for the Brummies. Not perfect at the back for Lee Complin. He's had a problem. So it's looking like a 5-1 here for the Brummies.
It makes you wonder there if Lee Complin had turned his fuel on, because he got to the first bend, the bike stopped, he's just fiddled around something in front of him and he's got going again. So maybe not turning the fuel on, but it's a 5-1 for the Brummies here. They're looking well up for this match. Ben Trigger doing his best to close the gap on the Brummies duo, but they're looking a good bet for a maximum heat advantage here.
Yeah, Joe Thompson's looking very, very comfortable here around the Coliseum. He leapt out the start, he was from the inside there, and he really has controlled the race. James Pearson has backed him up nicely. It's a 5-1 to the Brummies. A great result here for the away side. It's white, yellow, blue for heat #2.
Well, if that was not turning the fuel on, Lee Complin will be furious, but we'll have to get confirmation of whether that was the case. But Thompson and Pearson leading the way there. Thompson picking up where he left off a couple of weeks ago.
So we have got here in heat #3, sponsored by the Phillips family Exeter. Off of the inside here, out once again in blue will be Ben Barker. Gate 2 is occupied by Paco CASTAGNA in white. Gate 3 is Paul Starke in red. And Stefan NIELSEN off the outside in yellow here. And CASTAGNA, of course, not riding for Brummies anymore, but good to see him back in the lineup this evening.
Yeah, Laurence ROGERS is referring to a couple of good points hauls he's got around this track in the past, and feels he's going to be a very good replacement for James Wright this evening. Riding for Edinburgh this season, beg your pardon. But Ben Barker will be hoping to make a much better gate on this one.
Yeah, he really did end up all on the outside, and then he was lifting and bucking and rearing. There's a lot of drive on the outside, there's a lot of dirt on the outside too. So here we go with heat #3. Tapes up, away they go. Barker has made a great start off the inside. Stefan NIELSEN's coming round to fight. Stefan NIELSEN has leapt into the air. We said there was a lot of grip on that outside. So the red flags come out, and we hope that Stefan NIELSEN is okay. He is moving around by the air fence, I can tell you. Who's had that nasty fall is now up on his feet, as you can see. Laurence ROGERS is in attendance, checking in on him too. Good to see that Stefan has got to his feet, though. He looks like he's walking rather gingerly, though, there. And that's an unfortunate turn of phrase for Stefan. I do apologise for that. So the rerun of heat number 3 here, coming to the line, of course. We've got no gate for Stefan NIELSEN after that incident, but we do have off the inside Ben Barker in blue for the Gladiators. We've got Paco CASTAGNA in gate 2 in white for the Brummies, and for the Gladiators in red, we've got Paul Starke here in gate number 3.
So CASTAGNA, as I said, was chasing Barker hard into that first turn in the first staging of this race.
So at this stage, that outside does look a little bit treacherous. The riders will know that. Paul Starke will not want to get hung out there, I don't think. He'll want to get across, and he's going to need to make an absolutely picture-perfect start here. So, tapes up, away they go, and Barker's made a great start off of gate 1. Paul Starke's gone into that dirt. He's come round the outside, it's propelled him down the back straight, it's propelled him past Paco CASTAGNA, and we're on for a 5-1 here with the Gladiators, with Ben Barker leading.
Yeah, CASTAGNA was taking that a little bit cautiously after what Paul Starke has just come off in the same place that Stefan NIELSEN did. Again, it's on that same first and second bend, and he's pretty much buried himself in the fence, exactly the same position that Stefan NIELSEN went in. Starke is sitting up, so he's fine, but I think they might need to do a little bit of track grading here.
So this is very interesting this evening. Clearly Paul Starke not happy with the way that the bike propelled him into the fence there.
Of course, Starke has been excluded, so we're down to just 2 riders, but yeah, the clerk of the course has been asked to contact the referee. So
Alfie, first of all, how's this season going for you so far? Because obviously back from injury, so...
Yeah, no, it's going good. A couple rough ones to start with, and then all going well, I think.
And obviously in the NDL, doing strong in that one at the moment. I expect that's good for you, coming back for injury. I expect that's really good for your boost and obviously getting you riding back.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy riding National League level. Gives me confidence and it helps me in this league.
Strange to be back at the Coliseum tonight in the different pit lane?
Yeah, different side of the pits today, so let's see what we can do.
Not going to get a win tonight though, are we?
Oh, I bloody hope so.
Alfie BOWTELL, everybody!
Ben Barker there, you can see, off of gate 1 here for the Gladiators in blue, and Paco CASTAGNA off of gate 2 in white for the Brummies.
this is the old match races that used to have golden helmet match races, silver helmet match races, which were always a feature. Castagna's getting very close to Barker there. It's, I think the start marshal was just having a word.
So here we go then, heat number 3, the third running of heat number 3. Tapes up, away they go, and Ben Barker has made a good start. It is Barker that leads into the turn. Castagna is right there with him as they go down the back straight, but you would fancy that Barker can hold on to this from here. And it'll be interesting to see how the track has adapted, how the track has developed rather from earlier on.
Yeah, it's quite dusty out there at the moment. Barker's leading the way here. Castagna just lifted a little bit coming out of the second bend. He's still in hot pursuit of Barker, but Barker just riding that inside line around the first and second bends. Castagna's certainly not giving up here though, and if anything he's closing the gap on the Gladiator at the front.
Yeah, Barker just lifted a little bit coming down the back straight. That was enough to slow him up, and now Castagna, he can see that this race is still not over. He is really chasing down Ben Barker late on in this race, but I think Barker's going to have enough. He brings it home. Blue-white, so it's a win for the rider in blue, Ben Barker, and it's Paco Castagna coming home second. So a good ride from Barker to make sure that he solidified that one. So the results of heat number 3, we had a win in blue for Ben Barker, 3 points to him, 2 points to Paco Castagna in white. 52.37 is the winning time. It's 3 points to the Gladiators, 2 points to the Brummies, which brings us to 6 points to 11.
Yeah, interesting. That's what, almost 3 seconds slower than the opening heat. Just watching the start again, and Barker just getting his nose in front ahead of Castagna going into that first bend. No issues with the track that time around.
No, they weren't going out into that dirt though, I noticed, and yeah, both of them didn't really need to, I don't think, there. And We've got Lee Complin in blue off the inside here for the Gladiators. We've got James Pearson off of gate 2 in yellow. We have got Richie WORRALL off of gate 3 in red, and off the outside we have got Justin Sedgmen. So the start marshal is calling them up, but James Pearson is still having a dig around there on gate number 2. There's only one rut on that start line, on that position at the moment, and James Pearson is putting an awful lot of effort. It looks very deep from here as well, so I think he's having to pack that dirt down hard in gate number 2. The start marshal wants to get on with things, but Richie WORRALL has now got off his machine, so bit of a delay here. Riders wanting to get the track, their groove absolutely tip-top to launch them out for this heat number 4. So here we go, heat number 4. Tapes up, away they go, and Richie WORRALL has made a fabulous start from gate number 3. They've all gone charging in there. The surface looks really good as they come around there. He has been joined by Sedgmen in white, and at the moment it's a 4-2.
Yeah, they look much happier with that first and second bend there. Sedgmen following WORRALL round. Lee Complin has got James Pearson behind him, but 3-3. Sorry, 4-2 at the moment to the Gladiators. WORRALL looking very stylish out the front. He said he was feeling very good coming into this meeting, and he's certainly demonstrating that on the track at the moment, showing a clean pair of heels to Justin Sedgmen.
Yeah, he is looking good here. He's turning the bike hard in the middle of the corner. Justin Sedgmen is trying to hunt him down, and at the back James Pearson is trying his best to get on terms with Complin, but it's not going to be good enough. Richie WORRALL takes the win in red, and Sedgmen comes home second in white, and it's Lee Complin in blue who finishes third, which means it's a 4-2 there in favour of the Gladiators, and that's a good time for them to get a heat advantage, I would suggest.
Yep, definitely much needed there.
So the results then of heat number 4, it was a win in red for Richie WORRALL for the Gladiators. 3 points to him, 2 points to the rider in white, Justin Sedgmen, 1 point to Lee Complin in blue, no score for James Pearson in yellow. It was 50.40 was the time set by Richie WORRALL, and that was a 4-2 to the Gladiators, which brings us now to 10 points to 13. So the gap is narrowed.
Yeah, much quicker time that time, almost 2 seconds faster than the previous heat. Watch a rerun of the start there, and WORRALL way out in the dirt there, or what little dirt there is left on that first and second bend.
So here we go with heat number 5. We've got off the inside in this one. We've got Alfie BOWTELL for the Brummies in yellow. Off of gate 2 is Paul Starke in red for the Gladiators. Nick Morris off of gate 3 in white for the Brummies, and Ben Barker off of gate 4 here for the Gladiators in blue. Yeah, we're not really sure what sort of form they're on. Nick Morris, I suppose, with that win is in very quick time as well, 49.69. He obviously was going for it and looked fairly comfortable as well. So we shall wait and see what Heat 5 provides us with here. They are coming into line now, ready for this one. So, tapes up, away they go. BOWTELL's made a good one off of the inside. Round the outside comes Ben Barker. That's a brave move from Barker. He's tried to go up the inside. That's a great move from Ben Barker. Up the inside of Alfie BOWTELL. He picks up a bit of drive, but it's Barker that leads.
Yeah, BOWTELL gated really well, but Barker was really brave down that back straight, swept underneath him. He's all action, leg trailing style out the front. It's a joy to watch. BOWTELL is second, and Nick Morris packing in behind him in third, with Paul Starke at the back, still close to Morris, still trying to get up into that third position in this heat.
A great ride from Ben Barker early on in this race. He went out into that dirt despite knowing that it had been treacherous earlier in the race meeting. He wasn't bothered by that. He made good advantage of it, sped down the back straight, and he's going to win this heat number 5. It's a win for the rider in blue, Ben Barker. Alfie BOWTELL finishes second, and Nick Morris finishes in third in white. And Paul Starke has yet to finish as we speak. He's actually doing a practice start off of Ben number 4. So the results of heat number 5. It was a win in blue for Ben Barker. 3 points to him. 2 points to the rider in yellow, Alfie BOWTELL. 1 point to Nick Morris in white. No score for Paul Starke in red. 50.97 was the winning time. 50.97. It was a 3-all in the race, but that brings us to 13 points to 16 in the favour of the Brummies. So here we go then, heat number 6. Coming to the tapes, Paul Starke will be off the inside in red for the Gladiators. Gate 2 will be occupied by Justin Sedgmen for the Brummies in white. Dan Gilkes off of Gate 3 in blue for the Gladiators, and Gate 4 is Joe Thompson off the outside in yellow for the Brummies here. And Joe Thompson, of course, is a rider that we have been impressed with and talked about quite a bit this evening, and he's coming off of Gate 4 here. Different track from last time he was out there, though.
Yes, certainly. He's just had that one heat so far, which he won in Heat 2. It's a slightly different standard of opposition he's up against on this occasion.
Seems remarkable. Just a week ago we had that, obviously the date changed because of it was too wet here to run, and now here we are and it's absolutely blazing with sun and very dry, but changes very quickly, of course. And here we go then, we are lined up here for heat number 6, sponsored by Cat Down Wharf. Tapes up, away they go, and off of Gate 2 in white, goes straight to the front, Justin Sedgmen, but he's being chased down the back straight by Dan Gilkes. Paul Starke has slotted into that 3rd place, so we're on for a 3-all at the moment, but can Dan Gilkes do anything about Sedgmen at front?
Yeah, Gilkes in hot pursuit of Sedgmen. Starke has got that 3rd place at the moment, so looking on course to pick up his first points of the evening. Joe Thompson trailing at the back, but Sedgmen building a substantial lead out the front. Got plenty of fresh air in front of him. It's certainly looking like this is heading for a 3-3. Sedgmen, very experienced campaigner, enjoying the sweeping out around the bends here around this Coliseum track.
A good ride then from Justin Sedgmen. He takes the win here in this one. Dan Gilkes in blue follows him home for that 2nd, and Paul Starke crucially in that 3rd place in red, which means it is a 3-all there, and a great ride from Sedgmen. So the results of heat number 6, sponsored by Cat Down Wharf. It was a win in white for Justin Sedgmen. 3 points to him, 2 points to Dan Gilkes in blue, 1 point there to Paul Starke in red, and no score for Joe Thompson in yellow. So heat number 7, we are expecting to see in Gate 1 in white we've got Paco CASTAGNA. In Gate 2 in red there we've got Richie WORRALL. We've got Gate 3 James Pearson in yellow, although I'm just looking and we don't have James Pearson at the moment in the right gate. Ben Trigger though is preparing Gate 3, but Ben Trigger should be in Gate 4, so there's a bit of an error here. The riders in yellow and blue are in the wrong gates.
Yeah, the two riders who've just come into this heat as changes are in the wrong gates. Trigger should be in 4 and Pearson in 3, and I think the message is just getting through now.
He's charitable gardening on gate number 3, preparing his rut for him.
Yeah, that's the trouble. He's done all that hard work. He's not had time to prepare his own rut.
So here we go then. Heat number 7 is at the tapes. Tapes up, away they go. They're right together on in gates 1 and 2. Paco CASTAGNA has gone up the inside, coming right round the outside is the rider in red. And it is the rider in red who leads coming off the turn. Richie WORRALL with a great ride round the outside. Despite Paco CASTAGNA making a good start, WORRALL got into that dirt and he now leads.
Yeah, WORRALL looking stylish again out the front. CASTAGNA in 2nd, Pearson 3rd, Ben Trigger at the back. WORRALL's really enjoying himself tonight. As I said, he said he felt in good form and really looking great out front.
He's sticking that back wheel up into the dirt, Richie WORRALL. He's starting to enjoy himself. It's getting very dusty up here in the commentary box. So Richie WORRALL looking comfortable out front. He takes the win here, 3 points to the rider in red. But the Brummies are packing 2nd and 3rd once again. CASTAGNA comes home 2nd and Pearson coming home 3rd with Trigger out the back. So another 3-all here.
WORRALL looking very stylish. That's 2 wins out of 2.
So the results then of heat number 7, it was a win in red for Richie WORRALL, 3 points to him, 2 points to Paco CASTAGNA in white, 1 point to James Pearson in yellow, no score to Ben Trigger in blue, 50.54 was the winning time, 50.54. It was a 3-all once again, which means we are now 19 points to the Gladiators, 22 to Birmingham Brummies. So here we go then. Heat number 8, the confirmation of the lineup. We've got Joe Thompson off of the inside in gate 1 in yellow. Lee Complin off of gate 2 in blue. Alfie BOWTELL here off of gate 3 in white, and he will fancy this, I reckon. And Dan Gilkes off of gate 4 in red, he'll fancy this as well. So this could be a bit of a blockbuster here.
Yeah, important race heat 8 in the context of the meeting. That 3-point gap at the moment to the Brummies. They'll be looking to open that up as we go into the second half of the meeting. But as you say, Gilkes and BOWTELL should be an interesting scrap here.
So here we go then. Heat number 8 leaves the start, and Alfie BOWTELL's made a fantastic start. Dan Gilkes has gone round to meet him. Gilkes is trying to nip up the inside, but Alfie BOWTELL has not made a mistake this time. It's Alfie BOWTELL who leads. Dan Gilkes is in that second place.
Yeah, BOWTELL looking impressive out front. Lee Complin at the back at the moment behind Joe Thompson. He'll be looking to try and nip up into third place to keep this run of 3-3s going, but BOWTELL just stretching his legs a little bit out the front. And Gilkes in second, and Joe Thompson coming through at the moment in third place.
Alfie BOWTELL clearly enjoying himself returning here to the Coliseum. He's really enjoying himself in this race. Dan Gilkes has got absolutely no answer to him in that second place, and round comes Alfie BOWTELL. He's going to take the win here in heat number 8. 3 points to him and to the Brummies. 2 points for Dan Gilkes. 1 point there to Joe Thompson in yellow, and no score there for Lee Complin in blue. So a good win there for Alfie BOWTELL.
Yeah, the Brummies opening up the gap to 5 points there with that 4-2.
So the results of heat number 8, it was a win for Alfie BOWTELL in white. 3 points to him. 2 points to Dan Gilkes in red. 1 point to Joe Thompson in yellow. No score to Lee Complin in blue. 51.12 was the winning time. 51.12. Have a look at how Alfie managed to do that. Just a brilliant start, really, Nigel.
Yeah, he does gate very well, and when he does gate first, he's very hard to overtake, particularly around this track. Laurence ROGERS was saying before the meeting what a revelation he's been in the past few weeks. Excellent signing for Birmingham.
How are we doing now? So, tough night.
5 down, you know, and some of my riders are struggling, you know, reserve and Paul Starke and that, but, you know, we're hanging in there. We've still got a little bit of a chance we can start making the gates, but, yeah, we're up against it, I think, tonight, you know, because Birmingham, any rider can sort of win from there, you know, so, yeah.
I mean, I think I was looking ahead, obviously on paper, Birmingham obviously have not won a meeting so far this season, but I obviously know Stefan's now injured, but they've got a few ex-Plymouth riders and, you know, a good guest in Paco, so it was going to be tough opposition anyway, but as you say, with a few of the riders struggling and track conditions being a little bit maybe not to their liking to start with, it's obviously played its part.
Get better now, and we're starting to pick up now, and you know, there's the second half of a meeting to come. Do you know what I mean? So if we can start getting out the gates, and maybe things will change.
Well, all the best for that, Gary. Cheers. So 5 points up. You know, boys are fighting well. So are you happy with how everything's going so far?
Yeah, pretty well. You know, it's unfortunate losing Stefan in the first one, but they've battled on, and we just need to keep this up now.
It's obviously just talking to Gary, and we're saying obviously you got Justin and Alfie, are former Plymouth riders themselves, and obviously Stefan until he got injured. But you know, good guest in Paco, and Nick Morris is, you know, on fire everywhere he goes, especially in this league. So you got to be obviously happy with how it's all gone.
Very happy indeed. Yeah, I'll be even happier at heat 15 when we've won.
Good luck for the rest of the meeting.
So here we go with heat number 9. We will see Justin Sedgmen off of gate 1 in white here for the Brummies. For the Gladiators in gate 2, Ben Barker. For the Brummies in gate 3 in yellow, James Pearson, and Paul Starke is off the outside here in gate 4 for the Gladiators. They know exactly what they want to do with those ruts to propel them out of these gates, and James Pearson is now happy with his rut, and he's lined up ready for this heat number 9. Tapes go up, away they go. Barker's made a good one off of 2, but off the inside Justin Sedgman's made an absolute flyer, and James Pearson's nipped round the inside. It's very close on the back straight. It got very, very tight on that back straight. Barker's now plugging away on the outside. Pearson's not letting him past.
Barker just squeezing through the gap there between Pearson and the fence, tearing down that back straight, trying to catch Sedgmen. Paul Starke, unfortunately, at the back at the moment. Barker's coming under pressure though from Pearson, who himself is coming over under pressure from Starke, who's chasing him hard as well down that back straight. But it's still Sedgmen out in front.
Sedgmen looks good out front, but James Pearson is having to work hard. In fact, Starke's gone past him. Paul Starke slid up the inside going into bend 1, and he's now setting about making sure he keeps himself in that third place. Sedgmen in front wins. Barker finished second, but Paul Starke, he worked very hard to get the better of James Pearson. A great race there in heat number 9. A win for Justin Sedgmen, but lots of work put in from the Gladiators, who started badly, worked their way through and made sure that it was a 3-all.
That'll maybe lift his spirits a little bit.
So the results there of heat number 9, it was a win in white for Justin Sedgmen, 3 points to him, 2 points to Ben Barker in blue, 1 point to Paul Starke in red, and no score for for James Pearson, in yellow. 51.44 was the winning time, 3-all was the score, and that brings us to 24 points to 29. And let's have a look at some of this action. Justin Sedgmen, he moved Ben Barker right out into the dirt, but Barker, he didn't know he was beaten. He went round the outside. Pearson tried to squeeze him up in the fence. Just here, Pearson, he squeezes Barker up, but he's already missed him.
That got very tight there, didn't it?
Certainly did. A first lap of Speedway, fantastic. So here is the lineup then for heat 10. Off of gate 1 here, we've got Joe Thompson in yellow for the Brummies. Gate 2, we've got Dan Gilkes for the Gladiators in blue. Gate 3, we've got Paco CASTAGNA for the Brummies in white, and Richie WORRALL off the outside here in red for the Gladiators. And the story behind that Dan Gilkes mannequin, Nigel, that we've come accustomed to. What's the story there?
So that was press and practice day. Dan Gilkes couldn't make it. He was riding in France. They wanted to take a team picture, so they decided that they'd get the mannequin out of the track shop with their sort of Kevlars on, Gladiators Kevlars, and put him in the picture. So it was 6 riders, Garry May and a mannequin, hence the head and shoulders mannequin of Dan Gilkes. The funniest part of that was when they all walked away from the team photo, they forgot about the mannequin and it went crashing to the ground, but no damage was done, fortunately.
Yeah, that's it, and let's hope that Dan Gilkes is a mannequin on the move this evening. He's had 3 second places so far, and he'll be desperate for a win here in heat number 10. Tanks go up, away they go, and it is Paco CASTAGNA who's made a good start. Dan Gilkes is keeping him on the outside. Dan Gilkes leads off of bend 2. WORRALL's gone up the inside of CASTAGNA, and we're on for a 5-1 here for the Gladiators. A good ride in this opening part of this race.
Yeah, this is looking very good for Plymouth, and Gilkes out front, WORRALL in second place. So the Brummies with CASTAGNA leading their charge here, but this is just what the Gladiators needed at this stage. If WORRALL can hold on to second place, CASTAGNA putting him under a bit of pressure. But Richie WORRALL unbeaten by an opponent so far this evening and looking to continue that run.
CASTAGNA is putting all sorts of shapes in that third place, trying to get himself round Richie WORRALL. Richie WORRALL staying up the inside. He's blocking the run of Paco CASTAGNA, but out in front, Dan Gilkes, he's a mannequin on the move. He takes a win here, his first win of the evening, but it's a 5-1 to the Gladiators because Richie WORRALL picks up that second place, CASTAGNA in third, and that is a huge 5-1 for the Gladiators.
Yeah, fantastic. Gilkes and WORRALL leading the way there. That's probably going to be the pairing that goes out in heat 13 as well.
So the result of heat number 10, it was a win in blue for Dan Gilkes, 3 points to him, 2 points to Richie WORRALL in red, 1 point to Paco CASTAGNA in white, no score for Joe Thompson in yellow. 53.25 was the winning time. It was a 5-1 to the Gladiators, which means we are now 29 points to 30. So here we go then, here's how it all unfolded. And we can see Gilkes there off the inside, went on the inside. CASTAGNA got hung out to dry a little bit there, I think. And there goes WORRALL, and the rest was history. It was a 5-1.
Yeah, as you say, CASTAGNA was trying all sorts of different lines, trying to find a way past.
So So here is heat number 11 then. We've got Richie WORRALL here off of the inside once again. Back-to-back rides here for WORRALL. He's off of gate 1 in red. We've got Nick Morris off of gate 2 in white. Ben Trigger off of gate 3 in blue. And we've got Alfie BOWTELL here off of gate 4 in yellow. Nick Morris is still yet to have, obviously, this ride and another one as well, and potentially even heat 15 as well. So Nick Morris could very much have an impact in the late stages of this meeting. He could be a danger man here. Alfie BOWTELL, of course, won his last ride, and he's off of gate number 4. This could be his final ride here at the Coliseum this evening, and he'll want to go out with a bang here. But here we go then. Heat number 11 is at the tapes. Tapes up, away they go. WORRALL's made an absolute flyer off of gate 1. BOWTELL's tried to come round him. BOWTELL's hit the dirt. How did he stay on that? That's incredible bikemanship from Alfie BOWTELL. Incredible stuff. He's now in third though, but WORRALL made a great start.
Yeah, feared that BOWTELL would come to grief there, but as you said, did brilliantly to stay on his machine. But WORRALL, as he has all night, stretching out in front, looking a class apart, building up a big gap over Nick Morris here, unbeaten by an opponent this evening, and as I said, he just looks in such great form this evening.
He is looking very, very good here. He's yet to be beaten. He's chasing the dirt. Looking good here, Richie WORRALL. Nick Morris and Alfie BOWTELL are packing that second and third, so they will keep this slender lead, the Brummies. It's a win in red for Richie WORRALL. Nick Morris finishes in that second in white, Alfie BOWTELL in third, and how on earth Alfie BOWTELL stayed on the bike there, I have no idea. Of course, a schoolboy motocrosser, Alfie BOWTELL, and I think he was going back into the box of tricks of his motocross days there to keep on the bike. So the results then of heat number 11, it was a win in red for Richie WORRALL, 3 points to him, 2 points to Nick Morris in white, 1 point to Alfie BOWTELL in yellow, no score for Ben Trigger in blue. 50.72 was the winning time. It was a 3-all, which means we are now 32 points to 33, and we are heading to heat 12 with just 1 point separating these two sides.
That is his last race at 7 points, paid 8 for the evening.
So here we go, and keep your eyes on the rider in yellow here, Alfie BOWTELL. He gets up into that dirt, look at that, still clinging onto the thing and somehow makes it out the corner.
How he got his wheel down so quickly there. It looked like he was going to climb the air fence on bend 2, but somehow...
So here we go then, heat number 12. We have got off of gate 1 here, Paul Starke in red for the Gladiators. Off of gate 2 in yellow, we've got Joe Thompson for the Brummies. Off of gate 3 in blue for the Gladiators, we've got Lee Complin and Paco CASTAGNA, the Italian, off the outside in white for the Brummies. So heat number 12 then, Lee Complin will want to do something here. He's not had the best of it so far, just the 2 points from 3 rides. So tapes up, away we go into the first turn. Once again the two Brummies riders are first and second. Joe Thompson on the inside, Castagna comes around the outside, and now Lee Complin is giving chase around the outside in blue. He's going right up into that dirt. He's going to have to work hard here to try and get past the Brummies pairing.
Good effort from Lee Complin there, going out by the fence, trying to get past Joe Thompson. Again trying the outside line round the third and fourth bends. Can he get his nose in front? Oh, it's almost squeezed up against the fence by Thompson, who keeps it stuck to the inside line there. Complin tries again this time. He might have got him as he got a little bit too wide. Fantastic action from Complin, and he's through.
A fantastic ride from Lee Complin. Really brave out there by the dirt. He has got himself past Joe Thompson. That could be a crucial move, and now Paul Starke's having a go round Joe Thompson as well. Goodness me, what a ride from Lee Complin. He had to work hard, but Paco CASTAGNA was absolutely flawless out in front. He took a brilliant win there in white. So Paco CASTAGNA takes the win, but Lee Complin working hard on that outside to get those 2 points. A great ride there, and lots of the crowd appreciative of Lee Complin's efforts in heat number 12.
That's why the fans love him so much.
So the results then of heat number 12, it was a win in white for Paco CASTAGNA, 3 points to him, 2 points to Lee Complin in blue, 1 point to Joe Thompson in yellow, no score to Paul Starke in red. 51.85 was the winning time, 51.85. It was a 4-2 to the Birmingham Brummies, which means that we are now 34 points to 37.
Just watching the action back with Complin here and that fantastic battle around the outside with Joe Thompson. He just seemed to be going wider and wider and wider, and then finally getting his nose in front.
So, 3 points down, 3 heats left to go. You think you can do it?
Of course, you know we're battlers, and you know we're under strength today. You know, and you know we're not performing. You know, people are underperforming, so we just got to get out there and carry on and push on from here, and hopefully get the job done.
Obviously, the Brummies yet to win a meeting in any of the series they've competed in this year. Do you think maybe the team was a little bit underestimated with the vast experience they got with obviously Alfie and Justin being former Plymouth riders?
Yeah, I mean they're an experienced side, aren't they? You know, but it's not about that. I think we're making them look a lot better than they are. We're really struggling. Setup-wise, track was how we wanted it, and then everyone moaned, so we had to change it. Okay, the track was a little bit tricky, but it would have worked. It would have turned over. Yeah, it would have turned over and turned a really good racetrack. And now there's no grip on there. It's dusty. It's horrible, and you know, it's making it hard. So we can't make complaints. It's all the same for us all. So we just got to make changes to adapt to it.
I've got to ask, your first heat. Obviously, we spoke in the pits privately. You said that your engine was seizing up, so you were riding it pretty much quarter throttle for 4 laps.
That was actually the second heat that I won.
Right.
That was so. The first one, that was probably what the problem was. And when I dropped the clutch in the second one, I heard these horrible noises, and I heard it blowing up, and I just quarter throttle, didn't go over quarter throttle, and so that engine's coming out now, and that'll go to the doctor tomorrow.
Well, keep it up, and good luck for the rest of the meeting, Ben. So obviously, Birmingham currently up. You just had your last one, which was a race win. How you finding it out there tonight?
Yeah, it was alright. It was a bit, wasn't the best of the tracks, let's say, at the start of the meeting. I said it before I went out, it was a bit dangerous and he needed a track grade. After that, it was okay. You know, I kind of always, every time I come here, the first time of the year, it's always a bit difficult, the first couple of heats, to get used to when to turn and set up and everything. Got better and better as the night went on. A couple of good starts, I made some changes, so I'm fairly happy with 8 points, to be honest. I hope I have the team, and I'm fairly happy with myself. Maybe I could have done a couple of points more, but I think 8 points, if you told me 8 points before the meeting, I would be happy with it.
Obviously, I was saying to someone earlier, you don't have much time off in between the off-season, because obviously out with Argentina and stuff racing out there. You find that benefited you a lot this season, like coming into the season and having not much time off the bike?
Yeah, for sure it did a lot last year. This year I came into the season a little bit tired, and April was a very, very busy month for me. I think I've done 10 or 11 meetings, which for a professional rider but without mechanic, it's not easy, of course, but on the other side, I'm fairly happy with how things is going. I know I can do better. May wasn't busy at all, and now I've got a GP qualifying round in Lonigo in a couple of weeks' time, so I need to concentrate on that, and surely extra meetings like this one with Birmingham will help me, you know, into that meeting.
Oh, good luck for the rest of the meeting, and well done for that podium on the third place on the short track.
The flat track meeting. It was a fun meeting. I just thought I've got a weekend off, so why not go have fun? And I bet some World Championship guys, so I think I've done all right. So maybe I'll give it a go.
Ideal. Have a good one, buddy.
Cheers.
Your second appearance here this year, first one for the Brummies. How's it feel to be back?
Yeah, no, I feel comfortable out there, so just enjoying trying to make some good starts, and makes the rest of the race easier than not making starts.
So obviously, last year when you were with the Gladiators, picked up the leg injury. Is that all sort of fully healed now and back to full fitness?
Yeah, no, I'm back to full fitness. I still need an op on it, but I'll have it when I get a bit older. So, but no, knee's as good as it can be for Speedway, so I don't need to run, so we're all good.
Definitely haven't forgotten the fastest way around Coliseum. Making the Gladiators work for it tonight. You think you can get the job done over them tonight, or what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm hoping so. It'd be good to get an away win with Birmingham. It's just been just out of reach at the minute, but no, I'm feeling confident we can get a job done.
I did see one of your BSN comments. You sort of made that the team wasn't firing all at the same time. You're sort of all firing individually, but tonight you seem to all definitely be on it.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, they made a little team change and brought Joe in, and he's going well. So yeah, it's just as long as we're all making gates, hopefully we get a job done. It's a shame about Stefan, but it's he's had it tough the last couple of weeks. So hopefully he's all good and we can get going.
Yeah, well, good luck for the rest of the meeting, buddy, and good to see you.
Yeah, so here this is quite interesting. So very even. We've obviously got 4 wins from gate 1, but really there's not a lot in it there, is there?
No, 4 Gate 1s, 3 wins from Gates 2 and 4 and 2 from Gate 3. Gate 1 has produced 21 points, but yeah, not a lot, not a big gate advantage on any of them tonight.
And yeah, I mean, it's such an even night tonight that you don't really, it doesn't surprise me at all. And yeah, there we've got the scores. 9 points from Dan Gilkes, that really is impressive. And lots of riders for the Brummies there, adding to their average. I mean, Alfie BOWTELL with a paid 8, given the fact that he's on a 4.28 average. I mean, that's an incredible signing, as you said earlier, Nigel. He's really packing in the points for the Brummies, and that could be the signing of the season there for the Brummies. Crucial Heat 13, sponsored by Southwest Tyre Recycling. We have got off of Gate 1 here, Nick Morris in white for the Brummies. We've got Dan Gilkes in Gate 2 in red for the Gladiators. We've got in yellow in Gate 3, Justin Sedgmen for the Brummies, and in Gate 4 in blue we've got Richie WORRALL for the Gladiators.
What a tasty heat this is. Worrall, as I said, hasn't been beaten by an opponent so far. Dan Gilkes in great form as well.
Lots of track prep going in here for heat number 13. I can tell you that everybody has come up onto the riders' station where they watch the racing. All the riders are up here ready to watch this action. This is an important one, that's for sure. Heat 13 is at the tapes. Tapes up, away they go. It's an even start, but the Brummies pairing are the two that emerge going into bends 1 and 2. The Brummies pairing lead down the back straight. It's Sedgmen followed by Morris. Richie WORRALL is in that third. He's going to have to work very, very hard to get past the Brummies pairing from here.
That's the last thing the Gladiators wanted to see, but Morris and Sedgmen tearing away out front. Worrall's doing his best to close the gap on Morris here, and Gilkes is pretty much alongside him as they go over the start-finish line at the beginning of lap 3. It's lap 2, I should say, sorry. But it's still the Brummies with the 5-1.
So a fabulous race from the perspective of the Brummies. They leapt out of the start, and they are looking very, very comfortable here. Richie WORRALL and Dan Gilkes, they are the best of the Gladiators this evening. They have not got an answer to these two Aussies who are riding for the Brummies. It's a win for Sedgmen, a second place for Morris, and Richie WORRALL finishing third, and the first time he's been beaten this evening. He'll be bitterly disappointed with that.
Yeah, the Brummies dominant from the gate there. Morris and Sedgmen, two riders who more than hold their own in the Premiership, coming home with a 5-1 and opening up a really big gap here for Birmingham.
So the results then of Heat 13, it was a win in yellow for Justin Sedgmen, 3 points to him, 2 points to Nick Morris in white, 1 point to Richie WORRALL in blue, no score for Dan Gilkes in red. 51.66 was the winning time, 51.66. It was a 5-1 to the Brummies, which brings us to 42 points to 35, and all of a sudden this meeting looks like it is slipping away from the Gladiators. Here we go with the replay.
Great gating from the Brummies duo there. Morris on the inside, Sedgmen on the outside. The Gladiators duo behind them, and you know they were just in a commanding position really all the way through that race, despite the best efforts of Richie WORRALL.
So here we go with Heat 14. Richie WORRALL off the inside in Gate 1 for the Gladiators in blue. Alfie BOWTELL off of Gate 2 in white for the Brummies. Ben Barker off of Gate 3 in red for the Gladiators, and James Pearson off the outside in Gate 4 in yellow for the Brummies. This is going to be tasty, I reckon. So here we go then, Heat number 14, sponsored by the Bar Bandits, the ever-present Bar Bandits up on Heat on Bend 2. Heat number 14 then. Tapes go up, away they go. Barker's made a great start. BOWTELL's trying to get across the front of Richie WORRALL. He's been pushed wide. Pearson's got the inside. BOWTELL's got himself into that second place. Pearson's been clamped down in fourth place. Barker's got away, but BOWTELL's got into second.
Yeah, WORRALL's got it all to do here. He needs to get up into second place, but as we said before, BOWTELL is a hard man to pass around this circuit. Ben Barker leading the way out front, but WORRALL taking the inside line around the first and second bends. BOWTELL keeping that outside line. WORRALL not making too much headway at the moment as we come into the third lap. Barker's
looking great out in front, and BOWTELL though, he just seems to be able to make himself much wider on the circuit. There's no way through. He's held on to that second place. It is a 4-2 to the Gladiators. A great ride from BOWTELL once again to get the better of Richie WORRALL. But Ben Barker takes another 3 points here. So that brings us on to 39 points to 44, and we have got to have a 5-1 from the Gladiators, or it's going to be a Brummies victory. Ben Barker's pleased with things here.
Yeah, Barker were winning there in 51.78.
Yeah, and the result of that race, it was a win in red for Ben Barker. 3 points to him, 2 points to Alfie BOWTELL in white, 1 point to Richie WORRALL in blue. No score for James Pearson in yellow. 51.78 was the winning time. It was a 4-2 to the Gladiators, which brings us to 39 points to 44. It's heat 15. We've got to see a 5-1, or it's a Brummies victory. And there we go. BOWTELL, he tried to lean across the front of Richie WORRALL, but it just didn't quite work. BOWTELL went round the outside, didn't panic, got himself into second, and I reckon that is a great way for BOWTELL to sign out this evening. He has been really impressive. So here we go with heat 15 then. We've got off of gate 1 Nick Morris in white for the Brummies. We've got Ben Barker off of gate 2 in red for the Gladiators. Justin Sedgmen off of gate 3 in yellow for the Brummies. And Richie WORRALL off the outside here in gate 4 for the Gladiators.
And Birmingham have taken 1 and 3 here in this last race.
So here we go then, they are lining up, ready for heat 15. Tapes up, away they go, and out of yellow, Justin Sedgman's made a good start, but Barker's moved him over. Barker hits the dirt, Sedgmen nips up the inside, it's Sedgmen that leads into turn 3. Sedgmen and Barker there going at it in front. Barker's cut back, this is going to be close, this one.
Yeah, lovely manoeuvre by Justin Sedgmen there. Barker going so wide there, almost collecting the air fence on the first and second bends, and then he's just locked up slightly on bends 3 and 4, but he's really tearing after Sedgmen here, determined not to end the evening on a second place. Richie WORRALL in third, and it's Nick Morris trailing at the back at the moment.
Ben Barker, he is very determined here, but Justin Sedgmen, he is so fast out front, he looks fantastic, the Australian. He has been great all night, Justin Sedgmen. He's hardly been beaten at all. He's coming round to take this heat 15 and finish off a brilliant evening. It's a 3 points to Justin Sedgmen, 2 points to Ben Barker, a point for Richie WORRALL. It's a 3-all overall. But that really was a great result from Justin Sedgmen. He has looked brilliant this evening.
Oh, what a fantastic heat number 15 there.
He fully deserves the plaudits there. Another win for the Australian. And it's a 3-all, which means that this is a very nice 47.42 win for the Brummies that they take back to Perry Barr.
Yeah, many congratulations to Birmingham picking up their first win of the season and their opening championship victory, and richly deserved this evening, solid throughout their lineup.
So the official result there of heat number 15, it was a win in yellow for Justin Sedgmen, 3 points to him, 2 points to Ben Barker in red, 1 point to Richie WORRALL in blue, no score for Nick Morris in white. The most important thing was it was a 3-all there, which means it's 42 points to 47 overall.
Yeah, Birmingham have done a great job there. 5 point victory, as I said, that's their first win of the season, their opening championship victory, and that will fill them full of confidence going into the match with Edinburgh up at Perry Barr tomorrow. As I said, there'll be an injury concern over Stefan NIELSEN, but they'll have to check on his fitness and see how he fares. Let's run down the 2 team score charts tonight. Plymouth Gladiators looking a little bit top heavy. Richie WORRALL 14+2 from his 7 rides. Ben Barker, an excellent evening, 3 heat wins, 2 seconds with 13. Dan Gilkes also very solid with 9. And then lower down the order, Lee Complin with 3. Paul Starke just managing 2+2. And Ben Trigger 1 from 3 rides, obviously rider replacement for Carl Howarth. Birmingham Brummies were a very solid looking score chart for them, led by Australian Justin Sedgmen, their skipper, with 14 from 5 rides. Alfie BOWTELL making an excellent return to this circuit with 9+1. Paco CASTAGNA proving an excellent choice of guests from Edinburgh with 8. Nick Morris 8+2. And then down at the bottom end of the team, the reserves providing 8, pay 10. Joe Thompson with 5 points. James Pearson with 3+2. And giving them that scoreline tonight of 47 points to 42.
So we've come straight to the pits, and we've got Garry May with us. Garry, obviously quite a disappointing scoreline in the end, but a close evening of Speedway.
Yeah, it was a close meeting, but you know we only got 4 points from Cole Howarth's rides, and that's probably the difference. You know what I mean? But some of my riders did not perform tonight, and we'll have to see what happens there as well. But other than that, good luck to Birmingham. You know, they come down here, they've got good riders and everything, and so yeah, we just go up there and we've got to win up there, haven't we, to get the points back. So just see what happens really now.
And obviously Kyle not being here, as you suggested, it's made a big difference. What's the news on Kyle?
Yeah, he just got a nerve trapped in his neck, and he obviously can't turn his neck, so you know he can't ride properly or nothing. So we haven't got a meeting now for 2 weeks down there now, so we'll just see what happens.
Despite the result, though, I mean, there have been some encouraging rides. I mean, Dan Gilkes has once again gone way above his average this evening. Ben Barker is determined as ever.
Yeah, Ben Barker just gives you 110%. Richie just missed the gate a couple of times, but rode well. But like you say, Dan Gilkes is coming good now. He's just getting over that injury, you know, which he had last year. He's getting a few meetings in, and he got 9 points tonight, and obviously dropped out of the Heat 13 because, you know, them boys are a little bit quicker than him at the moment. But no, he's coming along lovely, nice.
And Jake Turner, of course, not here this evening either. Any news on Jake and his injuries?
He just twisted his knee, and we just got to wait for time. That's all it is. So we just have to wait on that.
Great stuff. Well, Garry, despite the result, obviously a great night for Speedway, another great night for the Gladiators, and yeah, well done in the way that it's producing some entertaining evening Speedway.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. It wasn't the result I want, but thank you.
So there we go. Garry May, obviously not a result he wanted, and yeah, you know, as he said, he's now determined to go up to Perry Bar and do the business there. And with this aggregate scoring, it's still all to play for. We're not with you again for another couple of weeks. We've got a break, but on the 6th of June we'll be back for the Pool Pirates back here once again. They've already been here. It's always been close. We're looking forward to that one. Until then, I've been Gareth Bemister, and alongside Nigel Walrond up in the commentary box, we've been Gladiators TV, and we will see you soon.